Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, everybody, live from Harlem in New York City. This be the Ramble, and I be Alex Bennett. Ladies and gentlemen, there, drinking a can of soda, is the lovely and attractive Charles Farnham.
Exactly.
How are you, Chuck?
Still alive.
Yeah, Chuck is. We check in with him every now and then to see what he's depressed about now.
No, I'm not depressed. I'm past the parental housing nightmare that I went through when my parents died. Finally over that hump. And I went to Vegas last week.
You went to Vegas.
Right.
Why'd you go to Vegas? You live in Nevada.
To begin with,
let's just say you live in Nevada, and most people who live in Nevada don't go to Vegas or gamble or do anything like that.
It's horrible. Going to Vegas is like the worst possible thing you can do. But the Grateful Dead, longtime fan, are playing at the Sphere in Vegas all summer for the weekend.
The Grateful Dead?
Yeah.
How many of them are there left?
Well, there's three.
Out of how many? How many were in the...
They lost a lot along the way. There are a lot of piano players. And that guy Garcia.
That guy Garcia,
yeah. So I went down there thinking, I hear about the Sphere. And I'm thinking it's just a giant expensive planetarium, right?
Right.
And boy, is it not that. You really need to see the experience that takes place between music and that the way they have that video running. It's the most amazing entertainment thing I think you'll ever see. Technology-wise, it's just crazy. So they did 3 shows, and I went to the first show, and I mean, there's a nausea effect as well that they were working on, I think. I went to the first show, and then afterwards, I wasn't feeling so good. So I went back to my fancy hotel, the Six, and I'm laying there, not feeling good, decided to call an ambulance.
You call an ambulance?
I called an ambulance from the Motel 6. I think they're pretty used to going to the Motel 6. And by the way, there are now signs all over Vegas.
By the way, I stayed at that Motel 6.
Oh, yeah, with me.
With you. Years ago.
I love that place.
You said we got to stay at the Motel 6. I'm going, there are all these great hotels, the Bellagio and the this and the that and the Circus and the blah, 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 and the Ferris wheel. And they got beautiful rooms with big hot tubs in them and everything. And you want to stay at the Motel 6.
Yeah,
and by the way, interestingly enough, the Motel 6's neon sign is the size of like the MGM Grands. I mean, it's huge.
No, it's huge. So I go, and the ambulance shows up in about 5 minutes with a giant fire truck. Very exciting. I'm not wearing any clothes, basically. And I just walked out, closed my door, walked out.
You couldn't do them the favor by putting some clothes on, right?
No, I really didn't. I was feeling really bad.
What was wrong with you? What did you feel?
I didn't know what it was. I thought it was maybe gallstones.
Yeah.
So, but the gallstone attack went on too long. And I decided, maybe professional help might be in need. So I get in the hot thing. The guys are all real happy with me, and they're like, "Where do you want to go?" And I go, "Well, don't you guys know where to go?" And he goes, "Well, you have a lot of choices." And I'm like, "Well, how about the closest one?" Okay. So he drives me and he looks at me, he puts an IV in me, and he goes, under his breath, he kind of goes, I think you're dehydrated. Because I was out in about 140-degree heat
Oh
on
yeah,
some asphalt.
you never. What happens is in Vegas, you never go out on the street.
No.
You go from
And I was
hotel
in a-
to hotel, underground or above ground, and they're all area. You can stay in, basically in Las Vegas, and be air conditioned for the whole time there.
Right. So I go out in a hot parking lot at noon for an hour and a half.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about this, right? So the guy says under his breath, I think you're dehydrated. We get to the hospital. I go to come in, I'm surrounded by cops. And the guy, I'm a naked guy getting strip searched.
Were you still naked?
Yeah. They didn't give me anything but a blanket in the ambulance.
Okay,
And then-
continue with this this typical Chuck
It
Farnham
gets
folly.
much worse.
Yeah.
Gets much worse. So now I got this cop strip searching a naked guy, basically. I go, can you see any weapon on me? This is skin. And he's like, oh, whatever. And the next thing you know, I end up in triage, and a doctor comes in and starts running all kinds of very expensive tests on me. Crazy expensive stuff. EKG, CAT scan, MRI.
By the way, you have medical insurance, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. How
And Medicare,
how
obviously.
comprehensive is it? I mean, you have the secondary. How comprehensive is your secondary?
It's my regular insurance. I never got rid of it. I didn't get an Advantage plan.
Oh, okay.
I have my regular
never do
insurance.
that. Never do that.
Yeah, it's no Advantage. That's what an Advantage plan is. So I'm laying there for a while, and he goes, I go, what's the problem? And he goes, I don't know. He goes, but we want to observe you.
You know the reason they're doing all that, don't you?
Yeah,
Is because you are insured.
right.
If you weren't insured, you'd be out the door already.
Oh, well, give me a couple minutes. So they take me to this observation section of the hospital. I mean, I'm in the hospital.
And it's got a
And
big window,
I'm-
and people can walk by and look at you.
Yeah, like a terrarium. And I'm in a room with another guy. And they told me it would be probably 48 hours. They could figure this out. So during the 48 hours, I keep getting sent out for tests, more and more and more.
See, that's because
Now-
you're insured. They wouldn't do all those tests if you weren't insured.
No, not at all. So, in the room I'm in with this guy, he's kind of goofy. He's got a real bad back. And he goes, but the nurse is spectacular. So the guy goes, want to see what I've been doing? And I'm like, sure. And he goes, watch this. And he hits the nurse's button and said, I need some OxyContin. 2 seconds, OxyContin shows up. He goes, count to 5. And I go, okay, so I count to 5. He hits the button again and goes, hi, I need some Vicodin. 2 minutes later, Vicodin rise. And I go, dude.
Are they
And he goes,
intravenously feeding it to you?
no, they're bringing pills
Oh,
in.
pills. Oh, okay.
And then he goes, count to 10. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, gets on the button, I need Flexeril. Flexeril shows up. I got a fistful of narcotics. No doctor, no nothing. All he did is push a button. And I'm like, this is crazy. And he goes, it's nuts. So the nurse keeps coming in, doing their usual thing and checking this and checking that. And I'm on day 2 now. I've spent the night, right? They told me 48 hours. And I go, when am I going to see the doctor? Where is the doctor? I have things to do. And she goes, well, he'll come in. Send me out for more tests. I'm like, when's the doctor coming? I go, I got a hard limit here of 1:30. I've got a concert to attend. And I've already missed one because of this. So keeps happening. It's down 1:25. I'm like, where the hell is the doctor? I want to know what the answer is to all these tests. Well, he's coming. Oh, no doctor. No, now it's 1:30. I'm at the door. The guy with all the drugs goes, he goes, do you, I go, do you think I'm going to leave? And he goes, dude, you're about to escape. And I go, yeah. So the nurse comes to the door and she goes, what are you doing standing up? And I go, it's 1:32. I said, hard limit 1:30.
Well, wait a
You
minute, wait a minute.
can't
Now, wait a
leave.
minute. Hold on a second. Somewhere we missed something. And that something was you had no clothes on.
Right. I still have now. Well, now I have a dressing gown and nothing else.
Oh, okay.
The hospital gown.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I move
So
into
you
the
were
hall.
planning on walking out of that hospital in a hospital gown.
That was my plan. I get into the
I'm
hallway.
asking this of a guy who like would stand on the Golden Gate Bridge and ask people to eat peanut butter off his body. So I shouldn't ask how do you walk out of there in a hospital gown.
Well, and it was, yeah, as you'd expect, it was a little small on me. So I get into the hallway. Now I'm surrounded by, Nurse Ratchet and several other people. Where are you going? I go, Dead and Company at the Sphere. And she goes, you're not going anywhere. And I go, this is not a prison. She goes, you cannot leave here. And I go, yes, I can. And she goes, not like that, you can't. And I go, I said the same thing. I go, I've been naked in public before. This ain't going to be much different. And now I've actually got a gown on that doesn't fit about 80% of me. She goes, we're going to go down and get you some clothes. I go, yeah, you do that. And while you're doing it, I'm going to be over by the elevator. And there, call security, red alert.
You're in the hospital voluntarily.
That guy, red alert.
Voluntarily, and you can't leave.
I can't leave. So I get to the elevator. I'm like, I push the button. I get in the elevator.
What's the name? What's the name of this hospital? Putin General Hospital.
Kinda. It was sunrise, sunset, something like that. You show up to die. So I get in the elevator, and as the elevator doors are closing, now there's nothing but cops on the other side. Where are you going? I go, I'm leaving. I'm escaping from this institution. The guy's got his foot in the door. You can't leave. You can't leave. I go, okay, you're right. If you'll remove your foot, I'll come out. We can talk about this. And he goes, that's better. He removes his foot. I hit the close button on the door. I'm now going downstairs. I'm now semi-naked, walking out of the hospital. I got my gown-ish on, and I think somebody's going to follow me, right? They didn't follow me. They didn't come down the elevator. Next thing you know, I'm sitting on a bench outside, and I made a little video while I was sitting there. I called Uber, or texted them. They picked me up. The guy goes, dude, shouldn't you have clothes on? And I go, I'm escaping. Can you help me? And he goes, oh yeah, I'm all over this. So he blasts his little Prius out of the parking lot and takes me back to the Motel 6. Okay, fine, no problem.
How are you feeling by this time?
Not great, but not bad. And by the way, no diagnosis, and I never saw a doctor. I was in the hospital 48 hours. I saw a doctor one time, once, and I had 8,000 tests done. So he pulls up to the Motel 6, and I realize I'm only wearing my gown from the hospital. I don't have a key to get into my room. Or, I got my wallet. That's what I got. So I go up to the front desk at the hotel, and let's face it, at the Motel 6, they're used to seeing people half naked at the desk. And I go, I can't get into room 118. She goes, that's because you don't have what do you call it? You don't have a reservation for tonight. And what are you talking about? I have a reservation. I'm here for 5 days. No reservation. We've taken everything you own and put it in storage. And I'm just standing there going, what? Storage? I just got out of the hospital. Can't you see? She's yelling at me to get out of the motel. I need my stuff. I'm going to wait down at 118. You come down there. Bring my crap. I'll leave. I'll figure this out. I get back down to 118 in my dressing gown there. All of a sudden, the cops show up again. And it's Barney Fife from the Motel 6 police. And I'm like, where's all my stuff that was in storage? He goes, we don't have anything in storage. I go, she just told me it was in storage. No, she didn't. I go, yeah, she did. And then I called him Barney Fife, and it got weird after that. And then they kind of heaved me into the street and with all my crap. That was my week.
And we'll leave the light on for you.
Yeah. I'm like, how can you people do this?
Did you tell
I'm
him?
down there
Did
trying
you
to have
tell
a good
him
time.
outside of the Debbie Reynolds Hotel, which I think we also stayed at, if I'm not
We did.
mistaken? This was your favorite hotel in all of Las Vegas?
Exactly. I said, do you people realize I'm a VIP customer here? And they're like, they didn't care. They just like I was the problem. It wasn't any problem. It was bad, dude. And then I drove home.
So what did you just drove home? You didn't go get another hotel room somewhere? I mean, there are a few
No,
hotels in
no.
that town, you know.
Well, it was the biggest weekend of the year. They had that electronic dance concert going on. The Rolling Stones were in town. The Dead opening weekend. Justin Timberlake and Pearl Jam are in town. All in those hotels. I never want to go there again. I hate that town.
Well, I was going to say, you know, I've got some money. I could hop on a plane and we could meet in Vegas.
No. I'm not going back. It's too hot. Meet in Chicago.
You'll meet me in Chicago?
Sure, now I can take the train. We could both take the train and meet in Chicago.
Yeah, Marjorie and I have been thinking about taking a train through the country.
Yes.
Supposedly it's pretty cool, you know?
You can make it a whole loop. I've been researching this for months.
Well, I think you have to, if I remember correctly when I was a kid, you had to take a train from here to Chicago. And
Right.
then from Chicago to San Francisco, it was the same train.
Right, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can go from Chicago into New York. From New York, you can go down and go through like where Dollywood is,
Yeah.
and Nashville, and then down to New Orleans, and then around.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Oh, really? And then around and up.
Right. And then you come around and make the big loop.
Oh, well, if you come through New York, come see us.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And I would obviously be there. And you get a sleeping car, and you get all your food included
You get
for
all
one price.
Really?
Yeah.
We should do that, really. You know, we just
I'm
need
working
something
it, dude.
relaxing where we don't have to do much walking because I'm not great at walking these days.
Right.
You know.
And we can bullshit on the train all day, and we can stream live from the train.
Oh,
We have a great time.
Yeah, you could meet us here in New York. And
Yeah.
then we'll get on a train and you can tell us what the route is and everything. I think Marjorie would enjoy that too. And do they have Pullmans still? I mean, do they have sleepers on these trains?
Oh, yeah. They have little bedrooms.
Oh,
They have two different types.
good.
I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link to a book that has everything.
Cool. Because I wouldn't mind doing that, you know?
Dude,
'Cause we'll go down
doing
probably
it.
through New Orleans, right?
Right.
Get some great food, listen to some great music, get back on the
Exactly.
train.
And then I think it goes through Austin, also known for food,
Yeah.
and then into LA, and then up the coast Starlight.
Wow. Yeah, and to San Francisco.
Yep.
Wow.
I will send you the information. I've been trying to do this forever. Nobody ever wants to go with me.
Oh, I would
So-
love to do it. I would love to do
I
it.
think we would have a great time.
Oh, yeah. And we
We've never had really a bad
I
vacation.
could get myself a little laptop and we could do shows from the actual train.
Sure. I don't think you and I have ever had a bad vacation.
Yeah, we've had fun on vacations.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of we let it
Yeah.
loose, or it gets loose around
Well,
us.
I spent 5 days once in Las Vegas, which is two more than you should spend in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's a 3-day event.
Yeah, it's a 3 day. After 3 days, you're burnt out. You need to go home. But I wasn't there to gamble or anything. I was there because I was doing my working for Play Incorporated, and we had a booth at CES.
All right.
See, so I had to be there for 5 days, and I'm telling you, by the fifth day, I was getting squirrely. I just, I'm going out of here now.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And now it's even worse. It's more compact than before.
Oh, really? Because Marjorie,
yeah.
I say to Marjorie, let's go to Vegas just for the fun of it. Because we have fuck you money. We can do things for the fun of it right now. First time in our
Right.
life we've been able to. And she said, I don't want to go to Vegas. I said,
She's right.
no, you would enjoy Vegas if you accept that you're going to the silliest city in America.
Yeah, but now everything costs an obscene amount of money.
Oh, really?
And they charge you to park. Parking at this show was $100. $100 to park your car.
Wow. Well, I always liked Vegas only in that I considered it the silliest city in America.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Where
in the
else could you
70s.
go where there's a castle and next to it is the Empire State Building and next to that is the Eiffel Tower? It's a silly city.
There were an additional, the weekend I was there, last weekend, there were an additional 500,000 people in town for this EDC thing. 500,000.
What was it called?
EDC, electronic dance. I don't know what else.
And that drew 500,000 people?
It cost $900 to take a helicopter to the event. $900.
Why do you have to take a helicopter? Is it out in the middle of the desert?
Because otherwise you're going to be stuck in traffic trying to get out to the speedway. So you could helicopter out there. It was $500 to go to the thing. And these people show up and they're all over town, and it was ridiculous. And then everybody else, like you got the Pearl Jam guys in town, you got the Rolling Stone guys in town, you got plus those guys out at EDC. So all the hospitals are full of people. There's no place to eat. You need a reservation like months in advance. And
So you just went home.
I did not like it.
Yeah.
I was not happy. I'd rather be on a train with you in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yeah. Yeah. And you probably wouldn't get sick either.
No, and they never told me I was dehydrated. I had to come home to figure out I was dehydrated and where it happened. But I did get this really cool hat.
Well, how fast can you get out here? We'll grab a train and go.
Well, it's 3 days. I think it's 2 or 3 days.
The whole trip?
On a train.
The whole trip?
No, to get it's 24
for you
hours
to get here. For you to get here.
It's 24 to get to Chicago. And then probably another 24 to get to you.
Yeah. And I remember,
And then
the
you
one thing
hop
I
on,
remember
we
when I
continue.
was a kid is that the train from Chicago to New York didn't have sleepers on it. So
No.
I had to sleep in a seat. And I was a
That
kid
doesn't
at the
sound-
time. I was just a kid at the time.
Like we're at I slept on a Greyhound bus for 3 days one time.
Well, what have we learned from all of this? I guess it is don't get sick in Las Vegas, huh?
Don't get sick in Las Vegas. Drink plenty of water no matter where you're at. And
Keep hydrated.
the rent-a-cop sucked. I learned that. Hydrate, people. It was bad,
Yeah,
but I ate some good food.
well, it sounds like that. Yeah.
It was not any fun. I came back. I spent some money. I had a good time, but I don't want to go down there again.
Yeah.
I gave a lecture on Tuesday morning before this whole thing started to a bunch of guys about radio stuff or ham radio stuff, and after that it all just blew into hell.
Well, that's another adventure with Chuck Farnham, and we're running out of time here.
No way.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Well, anyway,
Thanks.
take care of yourself. Drink
I'm good.
plenty of water. Stay hydrated,
I'm hydrating.
and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Okay,
Yes, sir.
ladies and gentlemen, that is the fabulous Chuck Farnham. Bye, Chuck.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And here I am. How are you? How are you? How you doing? Good to see you. That's a rerun of a Chuck Farnham. We've been rerunning a lot lately because I'm too lazy to do these interviews. But tomorrow will be a special day. Hopefully, if everything works out, and it's always subject to a last-minute change, we will see the return of Lori Thompson, who will explain all about what has been her plight over the last, I guess, been at least 2-3 months. Been a long time. Jeez almighty. And she's been in and out of the hospital, and it's just, it's been a, shall we say, I hate to use this term because they might demonetize me. It's a shit show. Okay? All right. By the way, have you noticed on television, like for instance, if you watch The Daily Show on cable, or you watch any one of these things where they have a tendency to censor out words, they're not censoring out the word shit anymore. So I guess things have changed. Maybe soon we'll get adult enough, so we'll use the F word. Yeah. Anyway. So much for that. Hi, everybody. I'm Alex, and here we go with yet another week of shows, or 3 days of shows. And tonight, by the way, on Amy Manuel's wonderful intersection, she's going to be doing a GabNet trivia contest. It's a contest to asking questions about people like myself that are trivial questions. So I hope you will all tune in for that. Let me see here. Let's see here. We can go to our people. Let's admit all. These people all look legitimate. Okay. So here they come, ladies and gentlemen. There's Jeff. Can you hear me, Jeff?
I can.
Okay. Well, if you can hear me, I guess I'd be able to hear you, right?
Correct.
You're a little on the low side, but that may be my problem. Huh?
I'll adjust.
You can adjust it? Boy, he's done something special. Anyway, let's see here. Kevin's here, but he's not here. And Alan's here. Hello, Alan.
Hello.
How are you? And Charlie Wallace is, I think he's at a woman's place. That's what I think. Am I right, Charlie?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh boy, this is getting to be this is getting to be pretty good, huh?
Couldn't be any better.
Couldn't be any better. See, the guy is he's a player now. Okay, good for you. Good for you, Charlie. We're happy. I'm happy for you. You know. As for me, I'm still stuck with the same old woman, so it's. But anyway, hello to all. And here's Kevin. Kevin's there, but all we can see is his T-shirt right now. And Jeff is there. Can you talk, Jeff? Talk to me.
You can talk.
Yeah, it's a little louder. I don't know how you would bring it up. I'm not on your computer. But just talk closely into the microphone,
Okay.
Tap your earbuds a second. Maybe the sound's coming through your earbuds. What? Once you take out the earbuds, I think.
That's right.
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, it's just they weren't sending a strong enough signal this way. Okay. But anyway, here we go. Hello, everybody. How was your weekend?
Great.
How was yours, Charlie? Oh, well, I'm not even going to ask.
Good.
Huh? How long have you been over there this time?
Since yesterday evening.
Oh, so it's a 2-day stayover.
Yep.
Are you planning to go home tomorrow?
I'm supposed to umpire tomorrow night, but there's rain in the forecast, so I might get to stay.
Lucky you.
Who needs rain, right?
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, that's rain in the forecast means that he can't. Do you actually do umpiring too?
Yes, yes, I do. The games got rained out last night,
Mm-hmm.
and rained out tonight also, and so chances are the field to be too wet, even if it doesn't rain.
Do you get paid when they don't play?
No,
No.
because
So-
they'll make up the games later.
Oh,
They'll get
okay.
paid then.
So basically, there's a certain amount of money you're going to make, for
Yes,
sure.
this season, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a matter of when.
Okay, good.
Wow.
How are you doing? Jeff just turned his camera off. Anyway, how you doing, Alan?
I'm doing good. I can't wait to hear what type of trivia comes up about.
Well, she wrote me today.
yeah,
She wrote me the other day. She said she's sick and tired of talking politics.
she wrote us all that. Yeah, she sent
Yep.
us all an email.
Yeah, that she was sick and tired of doing politics, so she wants to play games. We'll see how
I like that.
we'll see how long that lasts. I said I didn't want to talk about politics a couple of months ago too, and then now look at us.
He forces us to.
Yes, he forces the issue. By the way, there's a very sexy shot of you, Charlie.
Yeah, I was no. There's something black at the right in front of you every time you move.
Yeah,
it
but
looks
that's
like-
not a penis. I know that's not a penis.
Oh, okay, well, thank God. It's too small for
Because
you.
if it were a penis, I'd have to turn it off. Are you there, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm here.
Your
but-
camera's off.
I know.
I know. So just go down to
How's
the
that?
lower part where it says
Oh.
You got it?
video. Oh, there we go. See?
There
we go.
Pam tried to get in there in time, and he got it before she could do it for him. Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo. So anyway, let me see here. What did I talk with Marjorie about tonight? Oh yeah, we were watching. You know, we've been watching this thing on penguins on Disney. 3-part series on penguins. Okay. So they go to Antarctica and they show all these penguins and they're freezing their asses off and they show how they huddle and keep each other warm during warm winter's months, and how dad sits on the egg while mom goes out and brings back fish. Okay. And she's gone for about 2 months. And then about the time that the weather warms up, she comes back. And it's a whole thing, the first episode about that. And so I figure, okay, the second one's going to be about another aspect of the penguins, right? I didn't know this. Do you know there are penguins in Africa? There are penguins in the Galapagos Islands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Have you
didn't know that.
Have you been watching the special that's on the Americas with Tom Hanks?
No.
Yeah, they showed those. They were down in Africa somewhere.
Well, no, Africa,
Galapagos
Africa
Islands.
in, where was it? Near, what was the town they said it was near?
I forgot where it was.
There was actually
They look like emperor penguins, but they're not quite the same.
No,
They call them-
they're called banded penguins. They have a band across them,
Okay,
and
that's a
it's the
different one.
same penguins that you find in the Galapagos, but they're taller.
Maybe that was it. Yeah.
And here's the other thing about those penguins: some of them live in cities. They had them walking across freeways and things like that, and they knew how to do all of that. They just adapted all of it. And I'm thinking, penguins, it's. I watched March of the Penguins, and I heard Shecky talk about the penguins and how much they stunk,
Yeah.
And I'm watching this thing going, I didn't know they were in Africa and they're in the Galapagos Islands. They have a lot of them in the Galapagos.
Yeah, I think that's the one I saw.
Yeah.
They climb up the rocks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
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 How do they taste? Does anybody know?
Like
You
chicken.
have to ask a seal
like chicken.
because
Well-
seals and orcas eat penguins.
Okay, well, one of my neighbors was going through the woods here not far away and ran over a peacock crossing the road and took
What?
the peacock and took it home and cooked it.
No,
So, I went
no.
over-
It probably the peacock belonged to somebody.
Well, maybe that.
I mean,
probably-
the peacock is not indigenous to your part of the
not
world.
Anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah, there's some
cooked
weird
the damn
places.
thing. He roasted the peacock.
He roasted the peacock. How did he say it tasted?
I don't know.
Just
I
like
don't-
chicken. I know, just like chicken. Okay.
No. It tastes like lawyers, or something. I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah.
I don't know.
But I saw,
don't
I was
just thought it was kind of nasty to run over a peacock. It's not like they're small animals; you can see them,
Yeah.
and you should be driving a little slower if somebody.
Well, what's
in the
interesting is
farmland.
penguins are really fast in the water. I think they're the fastest animal in the water. They
Oh.
they go
Really?
like
They're out
crazy. Yeah, and so they're a big deal. Guess who's here? Look, Brian's here. Hi, Brian. I wrote Brian a note today and say we haven't heard from you in about a week or so, and we missed you.
That's because we haven't been online for about a week or so.
Yeah.
You haven't been on what?
You have not been online for 5 days.
I haven't been online for 5 days.
I don't know. I guess you had the Monday show.
Yes, I had the Monday
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, well, you could be dying of some kind of illness. The Monday show will happen. The rest of the week.
Oh, when I'm dead, the ghost is coming back and doing the Monday show.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that we still need 5 minutes of explanation every time Alan speaks.
Yes. And then we have to explain part of the show to him because he doesn't pay attention to it when he's not talking. So.
Yeah, I've been sort of busy. So
Yeah, well,
thanks
and
for the note. Thanks for the note.
you've got a new job, right?
Yeah, so my last day at Cepheid after 21 years was March 28th, and I had started applying for three companies I really liked, and one of them was for a VP position, and they actually wanted me to apply for that. So they have some people that worked at Cepheid. So anyway, so they said I didn't get the job, which I knew because they had a lot of stuff under the umbrella that I've worked with but not worked under.
Mhm.
So but they asked me if I would consider consulting for them. So I've been consulting with them for 3 weeks, and it's been really good. Really a lot of help, giving them a lot of help.
Really good.
And then applying for 2 other jobs. One I didn't get, and then the other one I just went through third round today. And actually, it's a better position, senior director, and really
Well, let
good
me ask
company.
you, you were with this company for 21 years. That's a long time to be with any organization, right?
Yes.
How many of you have worked for the same organization for 21 years? Any of you? You have,
19.
Charlie? What did you
Yeah.
work for 21 years?
The state comptroller's office in Texas.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, Jeff? What did you do for 21 years?
I own the company.
You,
And I
do you,
worked
do you
for
still
them,
own the
so-
company?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
sold it.
So you fired
But I was
yourself.
there for 40 years.
40
Wow, 40
years?
years.
Wow, really?
Wow.
This is Peacocks Are Us, right? No.
Did you say you were you worked somewhere for that amount of time, Kevin?
Well, I had one of my jobs was 16 years, and the last one was 19, and the other 2 in between. I only had 4 jobs from
Wow.
78 to
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I
Please.
worked
78
I
till
worked for the
2015.
city over 20 years.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
so what happened? Did you decide to leave finally, or?
Yeah, so I was working a lot in Lodi, and I bought the house in Lathrop, and then things sort of changed. I thought it'd be good, and I thought but I just missed Adrian too much, and I had the opportunity when they started closing Sunnyvale if I wanted to close the company, and I said yes. Close the manufacturing in Sunnyvale, I said yes. And then they said, "Do you want to transfer up to Lodi after?" And I said no. I said I want to move back down to San Jose. So I signed a severance package. So it was like 1 year, 1 week for every year. So 20 weeks of severance. And then I had my full bonus and my full PTO. I still had 9 weeks of PTO I hadn't used. So, yeah, so I got a good package. And then I said, well, wait till March 1st. And then I started sending out my resume to some companies that I really thought were good connections for me. And this one that I'm actually talking with right now, really, really going very well, and it's an awesome company. They do the robotics. So the company that I didn't get, they do robotics like lung cancer and stuff like that. But the one that is now is I almost can relate because all you people talk about this, but it's what they do is they for enlarged prostates, and it starts pinching the bladder, and then people have to urinate all the time. So men. So one of the resolutions, I know you guys have gone through some stuff, but I know is medication, and then men don't want to do the medication because they think sexually it may change stuff. So what this company does,
Well, Flomax doesn't change much.
And neither does Cialis.
None of them really.
So this company, what they do is they go in and they use, it's like a water jet. They go inside and they do imaging while they're going through there, and they can see the prostate enlarged, and they use a water jet to start trimming the prostate.
Oh, that's a thing. That's a thing that they used to call it TERP.
Yes. They said that's one their older option that they used. Yeah, they mentioned that in one of the videos I saw.
Yeah.
But this company is just skyrocketing right now. So sales are going crazy. It's been like that. They were doing they've gone up at least almost three times over this last year, like year and a half.
So it's a new way.
Really
it's a new way of handling it.
Yes, yeah. So they have the screen. It doesn't take up too much room in the operating room, and then they use a disposable that they have this probe that they use as a disposable that they sell over and over. Also, not just the units.
Yeah.
So,
but they don't use they don't use a CT scan, do they, to do it?
No, they're using what the heck you call it? The when the woman
MRI?
not that MRI. But
you're talking about when they
Fluoroscope.
no.
Oh, when you see the baby, the
baby.
Ultrasound.
Ultrasound.
Yeah, they actually use ultrasound when they're going in there, and then I saw some of the surgeries in there. It's pretty bad. They go like you guys talk. They go through the penis. Oh my god. Wow. Man, that's
if they wait a minute. If they numb out the penis.
Okay, they numb out the penis, but they still go through it. I don't care if it's numb or not, man. I said that.
This probably is easier. This is probably easier because they probably use a thinner tube than they do when I had a thing called a what's the other thing?
A catheter.
The catheter wasn't a catheter though. It was a. They go in there, and they look around. And they hide the thing they're going to use to do it with on a table next to you, and then when they take it off, it's like this giant boa constrictor.
Yes.
And they take it and they cystoscopy, right?
Yeah, cystoscopy.
And they shove.
I get it right.
They shove it up your penis. Yeah. What?
Oh, I've had one done. They're not comfortable.
Well, they're not comfortable. I had it done. I had it done.
It reminded me.
I had it done twice. I had a doctor that just loved doing cystoscopies because he could charge a lot of money for them and get more money for them per visit. So he did two of them on me, and by the time he did the second one, I said, if you go in there and you don't see anything, and there's no money in there, please pull it out. That's what she said. Anyway.
Yeah,
it was a terrible. It was not fun.
So
that's my work.
Well, wait a minute.
Brian, so they go through the urethra, the company you're working for. I don't know what it is, and they cut away some of the material, some of the prostate inside.
Yes.
So you can urinate. Yeah, like the.
Yes.
Well,
Alex mentioned the TERP.
It's like a TERP. Yeah.
But how many people know what it is?
Yeah, they don't use heat. So I think one of the older things there, they can't use heat or anything. So that's why they went to like this water jet system. But yeah, it's it's really, the company's really great culture there and stuff. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, the best thing is what they did to me. They did so many things to me with radiation that my prostate just. My doctor felt it the last time I was. He says it's really flat, and I went, okay, well, that's why it doesn't work that well,
Yeah, so
But I'm 85 and I don't care. Okay, I got a lot of good use out of that prostate.
Do they have to use general anesthesia to do this?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
I hope so.
yeah, that's going good.
Well,
And
with
then,
The urethra is involved, and I loved it when she did You Gotta Think. What is that song she did? Urethra?
Yeah,
I'll try that joke one more time. I can't remember any Aretha Franklin songs right now.
Respect.
Respect.
R-E-S-P.
Respect. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the company is called Prospect. It's
Prospect?
Prospect. Yeah. There we go. Maybe that's how they got the. I'll have to ask them. Okay.
So
I'm consulting. I'm consulting for. I have a consulting contract for 6 months with this one company, but they know if I find another job, they know that I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
So that one's making consulting makes a lot of money. So actually, I'm in a good position.
Are you making more money consulting for this company than you did at the other company?
Yes. And I only work 20 hours a week. It's so crazy.
Oh
Okay,
my God.
so the other thing is, it's like this whole series of stuff. So now I'm at an extended inn near my work, right around the corner from my work. It's like a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here until the 30th. If I have to stay longer, I'll just extend it. But
Extend what? Wait a minute. You'll extend what if you?
My stay here at the hotel.
Oh,
And I have
at
a
the hotel.
corner-
I can't
corner-
tell
yeah.
where you are anymore.
I know. So I'm in a corner room, and my car is parked right out here on the first floor. It's like perfect, like at home almost. So I cannot get a loan right now because when I was at Cepheid, it was called expiring income. So since I'm consulting, I can't use that because I don't have a W-2 for my loan. So I have to wait until I get a permanent position to sign with a company.
Wait a minute,
then I
let
can
me
get my
ask you.
loan.
Let me ask you. And I don't want to pry into your wealth, okay? But over the years, in spite of the fact you bought some pretty expensive automobiles
Yes.
Yep.
and some homes and things like that, have you saved a lot of money?
Oh yes. Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
so when they say how much, what are your assets? You just say I got $8 billion
but
or
they
whatever.
But they need. But I don't have income. I have no income, so that's the problem.
I have
I
no
have no
income,
savings.
but I could pay for a car. I could pay for a house, actually, a small house.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, but California's pretty expensive.
Well, wait a minute. Can't you just pay for the whole house in cash, or don't you have that much?
not in this area.
Not in California.
California.
I don't know
a
what you.
townhouse is 1.5 million. And that's like,
Yeah, really.
it's so stupid here. It's so stupid. So, anyways, no, I'm doing fine. So I just get.
Well, come move to California. I can put you up, New York rather. I can put you up in my guest room.
Okay, Lodi was a long commute.
Yeah, you
That'd be
can
very
leave your
long.
McLaren on the street. Nobody'd bother it.
Yeah, it's funny because I have savings.
Wait a minute.
I
Yeah,
have-
where do you put all your cars? How many cars you had? You had a Cadillac, and
Okay, so I have my McLaren is in storage, my normal storage in Santa Clara,
Okay.
so that's fine. My 56 Cadillac, I had to get a storage in Lathrop just to keep it there, so that's over there.
Mhm.
The 34 Cadillac is at my friend's shop. We're still doing some work to it, and then I have my daily driver.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I need a townhouse.
Well, bravo
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
So anyway, it's all going good. I just have to be patient a little bit, and everything will come together.
Yeah.
So what are you driving now?
My Cadillac Lyric, my
Oh,
daily
okay.
driver. Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's great to be back in San Jose. I'm happy. See all my friends again, and work is going really well at this company, helping them out a lot, and then just get a normal job. And
How's Adrian doing?
Adrian's doing awesome. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So she's very happy. I'm back.
She's how old now? 8, 9?
Nine.
Wow.
And she's grown like another 2 inches. She's like almost up to my shoulder now, and I'm 6'4".
The interesting thing is you will be able to play back the issues, back versions of and show her growing up on the show.
Oh yeah. She was remember she was very, very young.
Well, I can go
Only
back
like
and
3
find
when she
those.
started.
When did
Yeah.
when did she first come on?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember she was so shy. Remember she would hide
Yep.
all the time. Now, not now. Now she's showing us her nose, her nostrils, and everything.
Yeah, right. Every ugly shot she can give us of herself.
Yeah. So, but it's going well. This is the first step of me getting back into San Jose, and we'll see what other things happen coming up.
Well, we're happy for you. Did they give you a going away party?
Yeah, we had a big couple. I mean, there were a few big parties and at Cepheid.
Because you got it's 21 years at this company, for crying out loud.
Yeah, so a lot of nice things were said. All upper management was there, and I talked also to the group, but I said they asked me to talk to the group. We had like 400 or 500 people, and I said these are the last people there, and I said if I'm talking last. So all the upper management went up, and they were really said a lot of nice things about me. So that was really nice.
Well, what's not nice to say about you? You know, I mean, I can't call you a son of a bitch. You know.
Well, because one of the things said was that I'm very humble. So when people ask me about my career, I'm very humble about it. So I don't talk too much. But
you're a nice guy, Brian.
Thank you, Charlie. Yeah. I've already invited you over anytime, so you know that. At my hotel, don't worry, we'll have a roll-up.
Yeah. So what are you in a fancy hotel?
No, it's just an extended inn. So it's just like a lot of people are here from companies that are from around here that stay for like a week or something.
Or their wife kicked them out of the house.
No. That's what this old lady asked me. She goes, "Oh, did you get kicked out of the house?" I said, "No." So so things are going good. A lot of stuff from a few months ago, and a lot of stuff's wrapping up now. So I'm very happy.
That's good. Well, I'm happy for you.
The Silicon Valley hotels, when I used to book visitors from other countries and stuff, they were always more expensive during the week than on the weekend.
Oh yeah,
it was reversed. You know how people come in and go and stay for the weekend. Here it's the exact opposite, so they can ram all the companies.
Yeah.
Oh, so they can ram the companies for the money.
Yeah. I mean, a bed, a room was, say, off the top of the head, 150 on the during the week, but during the week it was 300, and then on the weekend it was 150.
Yeah. Do they get suspicious because you're trying to buy a house, but you were living in one and you sold it?
No,
they don't. That doesn't raise any suspicions.
No, but it's just totally opposite. I was in a 3,700 square foot house there, and I had like a 2-hour commute sometimes. And now I'm in a 1-bedroom hotel, and my commute is 1.5 miles.
The thing is that
Adrian loved it though. We have a roll-up bed, so she was here over the weekend, and we did a lot of stuff over the weekend. But she was here. She loves it. So I'm like, we're not staying here long though.
Well, you have a nice relationship with her.
Oh yeah.
You
still going to Santa Maria?
No.
Okay. I think I'm bailing out too.
Are you dating too?
Yeah. I've been dating this girl since October. So we're still together.
Oh, really? You never talk about her?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've been hanging out and having. We've been having a lot of fun.
I'll bet she's Asian.
Yes. Okay.
Well, am I right? Am I right? You have yellow fever, don't you?
Yellow fever.
I started dating Chinese girls, and I said, "Good, I'm getting away from all the Vietnamese crazy girls." And then all of a sudden, I met this girl. She's Vietnamese. So.
Well, what is she? Which Asian?
Yes, she's Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. Oh, and you swore off Vietnamese after this one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but this girl's very, very ambitious. She has a studio that she does makeup work, and then she's trying to go to school to learn more to have a bigger studio and stuff. But she's really ambitious, so it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and Adrian, Adrian actually really likes her a lot. She loves her. She makes cards for her and stuff like that, and so it's really good. Yeah. So,
Well, that's nice. Yeah, that's very
Might
nice.
be marrying material, Brian.
No, thank you.
No,
We're just friends. We're just friends.
Wait, have you ever been married?
Yeah, I was married one time.
Okay, one time. Yeah, he wasn't married.
I escaped that marriage with no kids and no alimony, no anything. So
Got out scot-free, huh?
yes. So
I never had to pay alimony either. Yeah. Although I offered to, oddly enough. I had a judge who, on my third marriage, said, you have paid her more than enough, because I was taking care of her and making sure she had an apartment and a house or whatever. And I took care of her because she had a few problems, shall we say. Mm-hmm. Spelled D-R-U-G. Anyway, she had problems, and the judge, after hearing the whole story, said, and I'm granting you the divorce with no alimony. And Mr. Bennett, or Schwarzman, she called me, if you pay her another penny, you're paying her too much. You've been a very good person to her. Mm. And I still kept paying her for several months, paying her rent and things like that, because I couldn't just leave her out in the cold. And eventually we finally did away with it. But the judge said, my advice is don't give her another cent. Let her learn how to live on her own, and not do drugs and things like that and have to live responsibly. So I went, okay. And then I didn't take the advice of the judge. But, that wasn't part of the settlement. But
yeah, she has a lot of, her and I have a lot of the same friends, and we sort of didn't know that. So, so it's good because it's a really good friendship. She's really been here through all my stuff going on and stuff like that. It's been very supportive.
Well, that's good. That's nice. It's very nice. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that you have a social life.
Yes.
Next week he's moving to a 2-bedroom hotel room.
No. No.
Yeah.
So.
But it's nice.
So what's going on with you guys?
Yeah, what is going on with you guys? Charlie,
Charlie, what's up with Charlie?
Charlie's at some woman's house tonight.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's had a little thing going.
Maybe he's next door. Let me go check.
Yeah, he's been very happy about that, because it's the last thing you expected, right?
Yeah. I had given up.
You figured your whole dating and social life that way was gone.
Yep.
I was very lucky when I finally met up with Marjorie, because we've been together, I guess, almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
was girlfriend when I first found you.
Yeah. And I was pretty lucky to find her at my age. At that point I was 65, I guess.
Charlie found her. He's 75.
Yeah.
Hmm? Yeah.
Yeah.
And and we both say to each other, we're kind of lucky we have each other, because we saw something on TV where they were talking about people getting older, and that the best thing you can have is somebody that cares about you and that you care about, especially at our age.
Yes.
And that's good,
Yeah, maybe that's why you see some couples together for like 50 years, and then one of them passes away, and then the other one goes very, very quickly behind them.
Yeah. That happens all the time. That's why I don't want her dying. But
we'll move you out to California.
Yeah, but that's probably the first thing I would do. Is I would probably, if I lost her, and I don't think she's going first, but if I lost her, I would immediately move back to California. I don't have any friends here really to speak of, except for Jeff. I have more friends in California.
Yeah. We will take care of you. Don't worry. We will take good care of you.
Oh,
don't
okay, yeah, all right, yeah. Because I can't walk anywhere. You're gonna have to almost wheel me around, I think.
San Jose has a lot of public transportation.
Well, I'm thinking of talking to our friend Patrick Blazik about what kind of really good wheelchair to buy. You know.
worry. Oh,
I want to get one with a motor, though. Patrick refuses to use one
Yeah.
that's motorized.
Really?
Well, because he says this keeps him exercising. But I'm 85. I don't need exercise. Give me a motor, okay? Let me plug it in at night and then go out and... You know what I want to do? I want to get the ones at Costco when I go out there. Right? 'Cause I got the cane, so they'll give them to me, okay? Because I love the people in those wheelchairs, those electric wheelchairs at Costco, because they're mean as hell.
yeah.
They're like, out of my
Run right
way,
over.
I'm on my wheelchair. And then, boom, you know. And I'm thinking, hey, they need to have a little competition, you know? And so I can get really nasty towards them, you know, but it's be fun. Be fun. We'll see. Yeah. But,
Boy, that cane has come in handy, hasn't it?
well, I have two of them. I have three of them now.
Well, I've sent you two.
I
sent
have the
one
two
for
you
and
sent
one
me.
for
I have the
Mark.
two you sent me, and then I have a really nice one I bought that's got a nice head on it and things like that. But I'm probably going to get another one because it's one that does not expand, and I think it needed to be a little bit higher, you know. So, but it's got like I think a lion on the head of it or something like that. You know, it's a nice fancy cane. But I like those other canes because they really work well. And,
They do.
Yeah, and they're cheap.
When I blew my knee out and had a torn meniscus, they came in real handy.
Yeah, well, you know, I use them. I was using it yesterday. We took a walk up the block. That's how far I go, up the block and down the block. And it was pretty good, you know. It works well, and it helps me. And I sometimes don't need it. I try to walk with it up, not on the ground. But yesterday I kind of needed it. I needed it more for my back, which aches when I walk. Because when I use the cane, I can push myself up straight so I don't lean over. And leaning over is what causes the back to hurt. So, you know. This is old people talk. Why don't we get into adult talk here?
Back to prostates.
Well, you know, since we talked last, we lost somebody that that Albert Reynoso and I used to refer to as, because he only had one, as Frankie the Lung, better known as Pope Francis. And so we call him Frankie the Lung, and we lost him.
Yep.
And it was, you know, I mean, I'm happy for him because he was going through really some bad stuff. But he really was okay, you know? I mean, as a Jew, I can say I liked him. And I felt that he was a very pastoral pope, and he's not even being buried in the normal crypt at the what do you call it? At the Vatican.
Outside of it.
Yeah, well, not outside of it. I think it's in the pavilion, but it's off to the side. And he's going to be buried kind of, I think, underground. Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10 miles away or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, is it 10 miles away?
Yeah, it's 10 miles up the road.
Oh, I thought it was in the same pavilion. Oh, I guess not.
Oh, it's in the Foster Freeze parking lot.
Yeah, right.
Santa Maria. Santa Maria.
No, but he was okay. I had never had any real
Progressive for a pope.
Huh?
He was progressive for a pope.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
progressive
Nice.
enough for me, but
No, but at least he broke a couple of the, molds and
Yeah, gays
allowed
can,
the gays
can
and
be
yeah.
gays and all
he
kinds.
recognized the gays and the LGBTQ.
well, it's about time he recognized the gays because they're all priests, you know.
right?
Yeah.
Be nice.
No, I'm being serious though.
I know.
Come on, you take a guy, you tell him he can't have sex, and then you make him a priest and say he has to be celibate. It's going to drive him nuts. The only kind of people that can, huh?
He's in the prime of his life. You know, he's sexual prime, 25 years old, and you tell him he can't have sex, he's going to find
Well,
something.
I was hoping that what he would do, because he was such a progressive pope, is that he would do away with the celibacy in the church.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and just say, hey, you know.
It would save a lot of young boys and young girls a lot of trauma later on in life.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of I mean, I could say I'm sorry he's gone, but he was 88. You know, he lived a good long life.
What do you expect? Vance visited him the day
well, I was going to say that. My
out.
theory is that he died because of J.D. Vance.
Yeah, Vance killed him. Yeah,
He's damn proud of it, isn't he?
Vance had something like COVID or whatever, and he shook his hand.
I think the Pope just looked at this guy and goes, "I'm going to have to deal with this guy. Forget it. I'm done."
Well, you know, the day before he met with him, he said something nasty about Trump and about the Trump administration. And
Mark Pope.
Huh?
Good for him.
And then
Mark Pope.
Then J.D. Vance had to meet up with him. And J.D. Vance wasn't born a Catholic. He became a Catholic recently. I don't know why, but he did.
Because Trump's not one, and somebody had to be.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a kind of it was strange that was the last person I think that he had an audience with.
Wow.
And then he went home. He went back to his room and fell asleep. And next thing you know, he died in his sleep. He had a what do you call stroke, which then caused a heart aneurysm or whatever, and he died. And that's a pretty simple way to go, I think. You know. Pretty good, fast way to say goodbye.
Hey, Jeff, you're tougher than the Pope. You're tougher than the
That's
Pope.
right.
He went through a stroke. That guy's weak. He couldn't even handle a stroke.
Well, I think he may have had more than just one, but they didn't report it, you know.
Yeah.
He has not been well in the last couple of years,
Right.
I would say,
Yeah.
you know. But the trouble is also with popes, they get sick and they die and they go through all their illnesses and they don't give up being the pope. The pope that was great was the one that gave up, said, "I'm bye-bye, adios, I'm out of here." And then they went out and got Pope Francis. Okay, they went on, I think there's a new show on NBC called Pope Search that Bennett produces. And he, you know, they went out and they got him, and that was it. Goodbye, see you later. That's it, you know.
I was supplied.
Hmm?
It was very. I noticed today that a lot of the polls that we have with the American stuff was
With the American stuff?
Oh yeah,
Is that what you
the half mast?
is that what you call it? The American stuff?
The flags?
The flags. Okay, I'm against the president saying we're going to fly it at half-mast. Okay, he might say, okay, here at the Capitol, here at the White House, we're going to do it at half-mast for the Pope. But the fact is, the Pope is not an American, right?
Yeah.
And this is not the kind of occasion upon which you put the flag at half-mast.
He wouldn't even do it for Jimmy Carter.
Right?
Oh,
He
right.
He didn't do it for Jimmy Carter?
No, he had it taken down for his inauguration.
Yeah.
For his inauguration. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about that? Do you feel it should have been a half-mast for the Pope?
Yes.
No.
No. No.
I drove and I saw. I drove by and I saw the flag at half mast, and I knew right away it was for the Pope.
Yeah.
So I guess I didn't mind that.
But the Pope isn't an American, number one, and don't we do this for Americans?
And also separation of church and state.
Yeah.
That too.
I thought it was kind of weird because my neighbor's a big Trumper and he comes walking over and he says, "I see your flag's not at half-mast." And I said, "Yeah, I guess I forgot." But,
You weren't going to argue it with him, huh?
no.
Did you lower it?
Yeah, I did.
You did, really?
Yeah, just because I didn't want to hear it.
No, boy.
Whatever.
I was
Go back up on
surprised when I
Sunday.
saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, pretty
I
soon he's
didn't
going to
know.
have two of them to raise.
The two of them to raise?
Yeah, he wants to put one on the north lawn and the south lawn. 100-foot flags.
What's with him?
They'll be there next week.
He's so jingoistic.
Yep.
You know?
Hopefully they don't lower the flag for him.
Yeah.
Wouldn't if I was president.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, when he dies, if he were to die tomorrow, we'd be a whole show.
Free
Oh, yeah.
flags for
We have a
everybody.
party.
They showed this Trumper, and I don't know if all these are made up or real, but you know, these people that say that they were for Trump and now they changed their mind and all this stuff. This farmer had some huge Trump flag and he turned it upside down, and they showed a video of it. The guy I gave up on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't, you know, I just don't understand why the flag was lowered for the Pope. I mean, not that I don't think he was wonderful and he was an admirable person, but we should have done that for a lot of other people that weren't American as well, because they were important in this world to their people. You know, when Nelson Mandela died, we should have done it, you know, but I wouldn't say you should have done it because he wasn't an American.
It's an American flag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, we lowered a lot, you know, for all kinds of reasons, you know. I know my nose is itching today. Hey, by the way, let me ask you a question. I've got a beard razor thing, and it's got an attachment for nose hairs.
Oh yeah.
So I use those. I bought a couple of them in my lifetime, and now I have one. They don't work.
No.
You
Not
know
a good idea to trim your nose hairs anyhow,
why?
because it filters out a lot of particles and stuff that's floating through the air.
Well, but if it's sticking down and it's itching
Then
your
just get in
face.
the mirror and get a little pair of scissors and just be careful.
Oh yeah, and then I'll cut myself.
Well, let Marjorie do it then. She's got to steady her hand.
Isn't this an interesting show you're listening to, ladies and gentlemen? What are we talking?
Go back to the urethra and the chirp thing. You know, the scary thing about chirp, they have to put you to sleep for it. They don't numb you up, because it's actually a thing that they run down your urethra that has a razor blade on it.
Oh boy! Oh God!
Trims away part of it. Well, you were the
Thank
one
you,
that
thank you. How many people did we just lose?
When if the doctor hiccups? Jesus.
Wait a minute. That remark should be hitting any second now. 35 people are watching right now. Does it go down? It went up to 37.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's talk about razors going in the penis.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, but
the recovery does not sound fun.
I don't
No,
know.
actually, the recovery off their unit, he went home that day, and then 2 days later, he was at work, and then 2 weeks later, he was able to exercise.
Wow. That's
quick. Very, very fast recovery.
That's very quick.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of times with the chirp, they need to put a catheter in there for like a week. You need to be in the hospital for a while.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's healing, yeah, because the skin's got to heal in there again.
That's why I think this surgery is very revolutionary.
Wow.
And that they're trying to go after prostate cancer next. So,
Well, prostate cancer is entirely different than an enlarged prostate. I say that to everybody who's listening. Let's see, is this really Don Giller? I hope it is. Let's see if it is. Is it Don? There, that is Don Giller, or is that a black guy jerking off? I don't know. I can't tell exactly. Hello, Don.
Winston Churchill got the half-mast honors in D.C. when he died.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm wrong. But I'm wrong. But
That's why I come here.
I thought he came on the show to talk about chirps.
We can talk about cystoscopies. I've had 7.
What?
Really?
Jesus.
Why did
Wow,
you
they
have
really
7?
Like you a lot, don't they?
Well, it wasn't all in one day.
Oh.
Yeah, excuse me. We just did your cystoscopy, but we just figured out we got to do another one right now.
If that happened, we'd call you a whore.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I got to tell you something about cystoscopy. Okay. What happened with my
please
doctor?
do.
What happened with my doctor is he found blood in my urine. Okay. Does the stick test, and he found blood in my urine. So he says, we got to do a cystoscopy. I went, why? They said you might have whatever.
Yeah.
So he does a cystoscopy. So the next time I go him 6 months later or a year later, he gives me another urine test and the blood shows up again. And he does it again. And I'm thinking, maybe I just have blood in my urine. Maybe I have a
that is
trace
just
of it
bad,
coming
like
from
like
somewhere or whatever. It wasn't until I finally got to the urologist, and I'm going to right now, that he said, "Oh, let's put the stick in there. Oh, it says you've got blood in your urine. Hold on a second, I'll be right back." He went to his microscope, and looked for blood in my urine. And under a microscope, he couldn't see it. So he said, "You have something that is turning this thing whatever, but you don't have blood in your urine. However, the terrible thing is you have urine in your blood. So that's the problem."
Oh.
I'm joking.
I know.
I have the same, but it's just a microscopic
Yeah.
level, and it doesn't there's nothing beyond that. So I
There's
just
a
stopped
lot
worrying
of
about it.
things that can cause it. You know, that
Well, if you ever need a good
kidney stone, a lot of things can cause blood in your urine. You could have hurt yourself, an impact.
yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Well, Don, if you need a really good urologist, I've got my guy is terrific. He's just terrific. He's a nice guy. He's very careful about doing anything. He didn't do a biopsy to me until he finally saw evidence that it would maybe show something.
What's his name?
I have to go look it up.
Weekly cystoscopies, whatever those are called.
No, but he
Weekly. They're on the bill.
Where's his practice?
It's here in Manhattan, and it's down
He's still
around
practicing.
96th Street, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
He's very good.
when you find it.
Yeah, he's terrific. I'll send you his name. He's really very good, and I had one bad urologist after another. I mean, and when I went to this guy, I said, I can't tell you how many urologists, and they've all been terrible. Is your profession just full of strange people? And he said, you got it.
Oh my God.
He said, urology produces the weirdest human beings in medicine. He said, and I said, well, you're not one of them. He said, I never got caught up in it that way, you know.
Well, they cure a lot of things, though.
No, they don't. I mean, this guy gave me 2 cystoscopies. Look at him. He said, how many did you say?
7.
7 cystoscopies?
At least I recall 7. There may be more, but I know I definitely count.
I think
7.
you'd recall every single one of them.
Well, no, it gets to a point where you just forget them. I mean, because there's so many of them.
Yeah. Well, he shouldn't have to do. If he had to do 7 cystoscopies, then there was something he wasn't attending to. You know.
Well, the procedure, as uncomfortable as it is short.
Yes.
It's the recovery that could take 12 hours before you feel
in one case, I got an infection.
Yeah.
Probably
when I got this cystoscopy, they gave you an antibiotic ahead of time, Cipro.
No, they usually give you an antibiotic afterwards.
Well, mine was an hour before.
They just want to make sure you have it in your system.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but anyway, he didn't even do that, and I got an infection.
Not good.
All of a sudden I came down with a fever and everything, and I had to call him up and say, I think they had a dirty boa constrictor or whatever that thing was that was sitting on the table.
And you went in to get cataract surgery. That's the problem.
That was the weird part about it. Yes, absolutely.
He's now cockeyed.
Thank you very much. Boom.
I figured somebody.
I have a lot of medications that cause me to have bleed problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
In your urinary tract, yeah, a
Not
lot of stuff.
necessarily there. It depends
A lot
on
of
where
stuff
it is.
can do it.
All I know is that every doctor I go to, like my doctor, I have to remind him every time I GP, hey, if you're going to use the stick, and if you find blood in the urine, hey, my urologist has already checked that out, okay? And unless you got a microscope to check it under, don't tell me I should see a urologist, because I have a good one. But anyway. So anybody do anything interesting over the weekend? I'm looking for something to finish off the last wonderful 3 minutes of this show. Huh? What did you do this weekend, Giller?
I've been working on this project, this video project that I mentioned on pop-up a month ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's I hope to finish phase 1 by Friday, and then phase 2 is going to take maybe half as long. And it's just it's tedious as hell, but hopefully it'll pay off.
But it's something you're really enjoying doing.
No, I never said that.
Okay. And then you can get to the Alex Bennett project, right?
With the Rick Sheckman project.
The Rick Sheckman project? I thought you were going to do one on me.
Yeah, sure, yeah, that's what.
Or was it going to be Rick on the show? Oh, you were going to do Rick on the show, on the Monday show.
Sort of, any time he talked about movies or Letterman or stuff that he was interested in, I was going to compile it and put it all together.
Yeah.
But I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, when you
I'll
get a
show you what
chance.
I've been doing. You take a look at that.
I can see.
You're drawing eyes?
Yep.
But
Is there any reason for that particularly? Or?
Yeah, because I'm drawing more and more people, which is always more complicated. So I've been looking at the eyes and trying to figure out how to do that.
Is that also good therapy for you?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
It's something to do,
Yeah.
Is it a political statement? And wait for this one. Is it all power to the pupils?
Yes.
On that note,
good.
start the theme.
That was good, Don.
No, I still got 2 minutes to the theme. How long? 1 minute to 1 minute to the theme.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well. Anyway, should we just all sit around and look at each other after that? Anyway.
We did the Cherry Blossom Festival in San Francisco, and then I took Adrian on one of those taxis. The taxis with the driverless taxis. So we took one of those. So it was pretty funny because...
You mean one of the ones with the big thing on the top?
Yeah, Waymo.
Waymo.
Wow.
It was funny because it actually... I'm like looking at the map, and I said, I think it's going to pick us up across the street. So we go to the street, they cross the street, and then it finally goes green for us to walk. And there's one Waymo car, because they're like all over the place. There's one, and there's like 4 cars behind it, and then another car that was in the middle of the intersection behind it, and they're all honking.
Now, there's nobody in the car, right?
Nobody in there. And we run over, and I go, oh my God, that's our car. That's our car. And it was like blocking up traffic inside, because it just stopped and waited for us.
But,
and then we ran in and got in, and everybody's honking. Pretty
But
funny.
there's no driver, right?
No driver. Yeah, no driver.
Is that scary, or was that
It's hysterical. You just nonstop laughing.
you nonstop laughing until you crash into
people,
something?
Like, people double park and people have their hazards on and the thing doesn't know what to do sometimes. So it's like a little sketchy those times.
Yeah. Wow.
How do they guarantee that you pay?
Pay ahead of time like Uber.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, the theme is playing. Hear that?
Thank God.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much, Jeff, for having joined us tonight. And we'll be all looking for that thing with those flags waving on them.
Yeah, I want to see more of your pictures when you get around to it. That'd be nice to see.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, thank you very much, Kevin. Good having you here. Charlie, great that you didn't have any baseball tonight. Alan, you look tired tonight. Well, you still got to get through
I had
Amy.
to have dinner last night with Phil Meyer.
Okay. Well, we'll talk.
Actually, he was nice, and Steve Fox joined us.
Okay. And also, thank you so much for joining us, Brian. We really appreciate it, as always, and I'm glad everything's going good for you. And of course, Mr. Giller, Don, nice that you could join us at the last moments of this show. Everybody give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, okay? There they go. That's our citizen panel, ladies and gentlemen. And they're out of here. But next, Amy's going to have her little show, The Intersection, and she'll be here taking your calls on what are we doing here? We're doing, Zoom. And if you need to look up her Zoom address, you just go to our Gabnet page, and it's right there. Okay? We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.